Hi and welcome back to The Explainer. It's Wednesday, the 25th of March, and day 26 of the Iranian conflict. I'd like to do two things today. Number one, just give you an update in terms of where we are. And number two, just some thoughts in terms of where this might land in terms of longer term implications. Firstly, in terms of an update, in terms of the military situation, the Iranian military has been pretty much 90% removed, I would say. In terms of air defense, for sure. In terms of its air force, in terms of its navy. Missile and drone attacks are down about 80-90% since the first day of the war, but still doing clearly substantial damage in terms of the specific targets they're aiming for now. In terms of the political situation, the Iranian leadership has been, I think one would have to say, largely removed, although, of course, apparently still functioning. And there's been extreme regional disruption, both in terms of trade flows and oil flows. The Strait of Hormuz has been really now widely recognized as a global choke point for oil supplies. It always was, but I think that's just more visible now. So the oil price is up 40%, currently trading at about $100 on Brent, and the gas price has doubled pretty much, certainly in some regions. And in terms of as we stand today, with the oil prices at $100 a barrel, President Trump looks to be moving to find some kind of diplomatic solution. And I think the main signal in terms of the very high level of noise at present is that Trump is looking for an off-ramp to this conflict. The damage being done to the global economy is, I think, too high now. In terms of what that deal may look like, we shall see, but I would imagine it would have to include no nuclear capability for Iran, substantial downgrading of its military capability, some control over oil supplies out of Iran with US involvement, and some kind of oversight from the US and or its allies in the region in terms of the Strait of Hormuz and securing that oil supply for global needs and remove that threat in terms of access to the Strait of Hormuz. And I suspect, on the flip side, lifting of sanctions on Iran to enable its economy to recover, and some form of support in that regard. And on that, in terms of who the next leader of Iran may be, it could be the son of the Ayatollah. We haven't seen him or heard from him apart from some statements which have been released, so we don't know to what extent he's injured or not. Outside of that, the current Speaker of the Parliament of Iran looks to be, in a sense, the front runner. A very ambitious man, apparently, very powerful within Iran, and really looking like kind of the de facto leader at this point. He is an ex-IRGC commander, and so commands some allegiance within the IRGC, I would have to imagine, which I think is important. Or it could be someone completely new, an outsider, someone from within the IRGC or within the regular Iranian military. Or indeed, the ex-Shah's son has been mentioned, although that seems to be not a prime candidate at the moment. In terms of the medium and longer term implications, if we do get to a more neutralized Iran, which is always the plan going into this, in the long term, that is very good news, one would have to say, for the region and for the oil price and for peace and terrorism generally, globally, one would suspect. Or, on the flip side, the war just keeps on, or the conflict just keeps on going and grinding away, and the duration dependency continues to move against markets. I've said from the beginning, this is very duration dependent, and if we do get that ongoing conflict, then markets will continue to take fright. We'll find out, I think, fairly quickly now. Trump is clearly keen to establish some kind of off-ramp, so the next few days will be critical, and we'll keep you informed. I hope that was helpful. Thanks. Bye-bye.